zoning rewrite committee and to support our Lumbland Town Board in making an informed decision that benefits the entire community, and to thank them all for their hard work. It's probably best called a thankless job. I have followed the issue of horizontal fracking since the Halliburton loophole was passed by Congress in 2005, exempting the oil and gas industry from the protections afforded us by the Clean Water, Clean Air, and Safe Drinking Water Acts. For me, it raises the questions, if drilling for Marcellus shale gas is so safe, why the need for an exemption? If it is so dangerous that an exemption is needed, then it should be banned before we start to write regulations to control it. With no long-term studies of the cumulative effects of tens of thousands of wells on our health, water, and environment, we are not ready to write regulations or to permit drilling. Now, I'm specifically speaking tonight because I think that the answer to this question is going to have to come from locals. Congress has had since 2005 to correct this problem that they created, and they've done nothing. The President of the United States is in favor of fracking. The governor of New Jersey will not allow fracking in New Jersey, but he's recommending it and would have voted on it for the Delaware River Basin. The governor of New York and his commissioner are rushing through regulations, and they have no long-term health studies, and they have no cumulative data on what happens when you drill so many wells. But what do we have? We have a lot of information about how these oil companies have behaved. And all of you are familiar with the fact that the people in Dimock, Pennsylvania don't have any water. And they're not getting any more deliveries to their Buffalo containers because the oil company made a deal with the state. And the state they made the deal with, incoming governor, doesn't make any difference what party, because I'm going to talk about the outgoing governor too. Incoming governor gets $1.2 million from the oil companies for his election. Then he turns around and sends an email out to his EPA that they shouldn't issue any violations. They should instead contact his office. The outgoing governor of Pennsylvania, who allowed it all to start, he immediately went to work as a lobbyist for the Oil and Gas Association. Now, these are the kind of people that we're dealing with. I don't know if you remember Harry Truman, but Harry Truman, when he left office as president, they tried to get him to be a speaker, and he told them, I'm not coming to speak for you because what you want is to use the office of the president, and I'm not selling it. Now, we also heard from a president from another party, Dwight Eisenhower, who told us, beware of the industrial military complex. So we've heard from old-timers who knew how government should be run, whether they were Democrats or Republicans. But the new breed that we have, they are not protecting us. Our Congressman Hinchy has a frack act. How complicated is it? Well, it requires the oil and gas companies to tell the state what chemicals they're using. It also requires them to give a specific formula for what they used in a specific place when somebody gets ill, so the doctor can treat that person.
30 seconds.
That bill can't even get out of committee.
30 seconds, already have 4 minutes.
So if we're going to have any protection, it's going to come from us. And we're going to have to do it before we find out that we don't have any water.
Yeah.